sticking with conversations from the auto space, Volvo Eicher CV has tied up with BHEL for hydrogen and CNG cylinders for commercial vehicles. We have Mr. Vinod Aggarwal, MD and CEO of VECV Eicher Motors, with us to discuss this. Thanks very much for joining in, sir. So first things first, can you tell us a little more about this tie-up? What's the revenue potential, and how will the revenue be shared? What's the revenue and profit share in this JV?
This is fundamentally a joint development project for CNG and hydrogen cylinders, fuel cylinders. Currently, if you look at CNG cylinders, are all steel cylinders. But we are tied up with BHEL is that they will develop latest technology type 4 composite material cylinders, which are very lightweight and latest technology. And they will also develop the hydrogen cylinders. So these are the latest technology cylinders, and currently this technology is not available in India, and it will take around 2 years' time to get to the production stage. And by the time you will also have the hydrogen gas availability or infrastructure also will be better. So therefore it is very difficult to tell you about that, what will be the revenue or the implications on the overall profitability. But at the same time, this is for the future technology and for facilitating alternate fuels at the right cost and at the right technology. So it's
Sure, Mr. Aggarwal, good morning. A lot of commercial vehicle players like yourselves, Ashok Leyland, are going big in this alternative energy space. So I get that hydrogen fuel is the way to go. But, I guess my colleague was also asking you to understand whether there is any kind of investment that you would have to make in this. You said it will take 2 years for this technology and this whole process to come through. But in those 2 years, any investments that have to be made from Eicher Motors' side?
We are making investments in the hydrogen technology as such. As far as BHEL is concerned, they are making investments for development of new composite material, hydrogen and CNG cylinders. So they are doing one part of it. The entire other thing, investment is being made by us.
So again, sir, just to understand the math, the end product will be these hydrogen cylinders, which will find application in the CV space. So the investments pretty much happening 50-50, is it 30-40? And my similar question for revenue, whenever the revenue kicks in, you said it's 2 years from now, is it a 50-50 revenue share, or what are the terms of engagement here?
No, it's not revenue share. We will be buying these cylinders from them. They are going to develop and manufacture. So they will become the suppliers of these hydrogen and CNG cylinders, which are very lightweight, and we will save on the payload. Like our trucks will be able to give better payload with the lightweight of these cylinders. For example, the CNG cylinders today, we lose payload of around, you can say 700 or 800 kilograms in a truck. With this lightweight cylinders, you will be able to save that weight. So they will be the supplier. They are developing this technology, and we are going to jointly participate with them, and then we will buy these cylinders from them.
Okay, got it. Let's move on now to the overall business as well. Just a couple of checkpoints for you. The month of May was very good. It was almost a 12% growth that you saw in the commercial vehicle sales. How is June and July shaped up, or how is June shaped up, and what's the expectation for July in terms of growth?
Commercial vehicle industry per se is in the, I would say it's in good shape, even though first 2 months figures are not very encouraging as far as the overall industry is concerned. But there are reasons for that. There is no you can say there is no macro reason for any concern. The industry is growing, and it should continue the growth path. Fundamentally, the first 2 months, one thing was that there was changeover of technology to OBD2. So whenever the technology change happens, there is always some sort of uncertainty, or people wait and watch. The second reason is that there has been a lot of, you can say, focus on reducing the discounts across the industry, because discounts have been hurting the industry very much over the last few years. And of course, there is a good realization that it cannot go on like that. For example, we have not been able to recover the right. We have not been able to pass on the cost increases in the past. So now, therefore, if there is expectation of better prices or passing on of the cost increase, so there is some resistance coming from the customers. That is the reason for first 2 months why the industry figures are not that encouraging as it was last year. However,
sure. For the full year, sir, you had said that FY24, the industry will grow in double digits. And I think that is the view echoed by your peers as well. When you talk about double digits, what would it be? I mean, would it be, in high teens? Are you looking more about 10-15% growth? And where would Eicher feature on that list? What kind of growth would you do in the full year?
It will be a different percentage for different segments. For example, for buses, it will be very high double digit. Buses already, first 2 months also, the growth has been more than 30%. So the buses which had been low, even though last year buses was very good, and some of the bus segments also were at a new peak. So this year also the buses demand is very good. Heavy duty trucks also the growth will be better than the light and medium duty trucks, because heavy duty trucks are still away from the earlier peak. So therefore you will see, you can say, better double digit in heavy duty trucks as well as in buses. But in light and medium duty trucks, the growth will not be that high.
Okay, so overall, can you leave us with a rough estimate? Talking about the overall CV portfolio, growth of 15, 10, 12%. Any rough range that you'd expect?
I think you can take 10% plus.
10% growth in CV sales this year. All right, we'll remember that, Mr. Aggarwal. Thank you very much for joining in. You have a good day, and we look out for the next conversation that we will have. Thanks for joining in.